3, 2.
Counting down.
Yes. All right, so I'm going to pray to the internet gods that they are going to be nice to me today because it's hit or miss here in Inglewood. But hello and welcome, everyone, whether you are joining us live right now or going to be watching us on the recording. My name is Jynnette the Oracle, and this is my conversation series, Conversations with the Oracle. And what I've been doing so far this year is connecting with one person a month to just have conversation about a variety of topics. So my guest this month is Ricardo, also known as Lavender, Freddie, on Instagram. Also, I'm just noticing like we are totally color coordinating right now.
We're doing this, right?
Yes, we're doing this. We're on the same vein. I don't have my I have a little bit of my platinum patch.
Okay.
Yes.
This is all unplanned, everyone.
Yes, it is unplanned. See, we synced up last time, so we're good. So you know how we roll. Yes. As you come in, please say hello to everybody who is here. Let us know your name, where you're joining from, what you're sipping on. Right now, I have water. Mm-hmm. I actually just started a cacao journey. So that started on Sunday. And I realized yesterday, because this week we're doing daily walk with cacao.
Yeah.
I'm like extraordinarily sensitive to caffeine. And I had like a little bit of chai tea yesterday, and I was like, I cannot. So I will be doing non-caffeine like for the entire 7-week journey. Because I just.
So what's up with cacao? What's going on with that relationship?
So that is a ceremonial cacao journey. So using it as medicine for heart opening.
Okay.
And expansion. So I specifically wanted to hello, Alicia Curl, Alicia from New Jersey, drinking water, beautiful. I'm joining from sunny California.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yes. So I've been, in particular, because of the pandemic, all of last year was very focused on healing my physical body from just the repercussion of all that I was carrying and all the stress and all the grief and everything from 2020. So I was having to deal with a lot of muscle pain and locks and low back pain. Just, from the additional amount of sitting, but also just like I hold a lot of stress in my body. So a good portion of that year was just focused on that. And then I started to do some work towards the end of the year in another coaching program to really work on my nervous system and just kind of get it back into a place of homeostasis, really. Because when you go through, as we have, a year plus of like extremes of high highs and low lows.
Absolutely.
It put me on the fritz. So that really helped me in that regard. And so when this program popped up, it's facilitated by Brendan Durrell. I don't know if you follow him on Instagram.
No, I don't.
But beautiful Black man. I think he's Black and Puerto Rican. But he's been working with cacao and a group of women down in Guatemala for I want to say the past 7-8 years or so.
Okay.
And so the past few years he's been doing cacao ceremonies online virtually, like the folks, but this was going to be his last round. And so when I saw that, I was like, let me go ahead and do this because this will be beautiful work to continue the restabilization of my own health and wellness. Sure. But also helping to continue to support the amount of expansion that I've had over these last 2 years, especially in business and just being really aware.
Please, just tone it down just a little bit. Sorry.
It's totally fine.
Go for it.
Listen, there's usually always kids screaming here, so I was just like, folks, no, it's not a bit.
Okay.
They don't got to be PC.
So it's like an intensive being offered, or like a certain course week.
So it's live group coaching. So he sent everybody actual cacao from Guatemala.
Okay. All right. I
We'll
don't know
keep
what.
the conversation short today.
I hope you didn't see my pants. They're extremely colorful. Okay, go for it.
I mean, it's you. But yeah, so he does it's a live group coaching over 7 weeks.
Okay.
So every Sunday we would be meeting together to drink cacao, and like he'll take us through different breath work and stuff. But this is the first week, so we had our first session on Sunday. And so our assignment this week is to drink cacao every day for the week. And so I had it yesterday morning, and then I had some, and it was I just really just kind of blissed out, which was nice initially, but it lasted like for the day, and I was like, I can't be in this state because I have to work, right?
Right.
So I ended up having a little chai tea to just hope that would give me a little bit of linear mind coming back in, and that just frayed my nerves. Because one of the things that was interesting with this work is I was doing a lot of parasympathetic nervous system work, the end of last year, right? And now this is more sympathetic work, so dealing with that excitatory and not, because cacao does have a little bit of caffeine, but it is a really strong vasodilator.
What?
A strong vasodilator, so it opens up the blood vessels.
Oh, okay, got you.
Deeply. So yeah, like it's great for calming and all of that, but it also, like, I'm already a very sensitive person, so it made me hypersensitive to additional caffeine.
So it opens you up.
Yeah, and I'm already somebody who's open,
right?
So it just took me to a place, because I started the day with it, where it was just like, oh, I'm gonna have to switch tactics. So today I'm gonna do it in the evening before bed.
Okay.
Where I know I won't be required to, show up in a certain way to get the things done that I need to get done, while still working with the medicine. But yeah, I mean, all that to say, it's, just continuing the journey of recalibrating nervous system.
Absolutely.
Being open and allowing for, not even so much being open, because I am open, but strengthening the greater capacity that is there now.
Sure.
What I felt in 2020 before pandemic hit, I felt like my capacity basically doubled in a way. I felt it energetically first. And then when I saw my numbers for business, literally my business doubled at the end of the year. But also, like, it was really taxing. So I've been like, okay, I have to first of all, recover, but now, like, strengthen what's been opened and really get clear about what my new normal is now, because it's more extended.
I like my new normal. Yes.
Yeah. So really, really in tune, really just like, what's going on. But
awesome. I like that. That whole description you took me through just now. It speaks a language that I'm very much interested in exploring. So thank you for that, for sure.
I know he's going to shift it into a course so that people can do it self-directed. So when I see that up, I will.
Yeah, hit me up, please.
Participate.
Spread the word.
Yeah. Awesome. It's been lovely. I'm like, I need to just be in the lake, not in the ocean on my work days. So let me not start my day with this.
Well, that sounds like a highlight of your week leading up to our conversation. That's a major highlight to be a part of, for sure.
Yeah. It's I don't know if you're familiar with Chinese astrology, but this year is the year of the water tiger.
The
water tiger, so really powerful energy, and it's water, and it's it can be either a yin year or a yang year.
Okay.
And it's a yang year, so it's yang water, yang tiger, really full, really creative. So this feels nice to sit in. It's nice to sit in more. a different way of working with creative energy.
Okay.
That's not so fiery.
Okay. Okay.
You know?
My interpretation of that is the sitting. The sitting becomes the most important thing, not the production of the creative energy, but the sitting with the creative energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's very full, but it's not consumptive.
Okay.
Yeah, like did we talk about this last time about how fire?
We talked about the sun and the moon.
Yeah.
I don't think we got into the fire and the water though.
So fire, they're both generative. They're both life-giving. So fire does have a component where it is consumptive in nature because it has to consume something in order to exist, at least in the physical, right? Whereas that's not the case with water.
Right.
And so I feel like also too with going on this cacao journey, it's another way to work with that creative, expansive, abundant, loving, joyous energy that's not fiery and consumptive, but that is actually life-giving and just continually opens and opens and opens. And being able to navigate that flow and to catch those places where control wants to come in.
Right? Yes.
And doing that mindfully, because even, with me sharing what I experienced yesterday, like, that can be looked at as me trying to control my day, but it's also like, I have to be responsible because I have to work. Right. And I do already structure my days that have a lot of flow and a lot of ease. I'm actually at the point where I can't focus and I can't do what is actually like for me to do, even though there's a desire to do so. Then it's like, okay, we have to like actually pivot and direct where this energy goes.
Yes.
And so that's some place that I'll definitely be watching throughout this process, is because I can be very controlling.
Sure.
Watch that line of leaning into let go of control. And this is actually a commitment, bring in a little control without gripping.
Okay. Yeah. That's interesting. It makes me think about this. Makes me think about being in the, let's say, an automobile, and I'm behind the steering wheel, and I'm definitely observing the road, the journey, trying to get from point A to point B. I realize that there's certain rules to the road. There's certain lanes that I can choose and things of that nature. And with all of this awareness of how the rules of the road go, I'm still a passenger while I'm behind the steering wheel. You know what I'm saying? So to know that you think you have all of this control, but you're still the passenger in the grand scheme of this journey and stuff like that. So that allows me to like relax a little bit, because I can really grip that steering wheel sometimes, just out of nerves and just wanting to be, I guess, attentive and reflexive to any oncoming situations, but sometimes being a little bit more relaxed allows me to navigate a lot more smoothly, So makes me think about that.
So what about you? I just went on a tangent about
I'm here to learn. So, I knew nothing about like a cacao journey. So that's something to look into. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
As far as
I would say, if you are looking for like journeys to go on, cacao would be the only thing I'd recommend, rather than other plant medicines, because Brendan said it so eloquently in our session. He was like, cacao brings you to the door and just invites you. Right. Whereas other medicines, they kick you through the door. Right. And And I thought that was so poignant because, you know, with anything else, with everything, it's a relationship. And so I've never partaken in any other plant medicine because the spirit of the thing has not called to me.
Right. Okay. Got you.
And so it's like, I'm not going to be colonizer and be like, oh, let me go try this like frog medicine. Or like, no, that thing did not call me. Let me sit my ass down. But cacao is different in that way because it is very much rooted in that energy of consent. It's always an invitation.
I think when it comes to plant medicine or anything that has participated or that can be an agent for that sort of paradigm shift, consciousness opening or closing, whatever the mind trip, self healing or whatever comes up for you. Yeah, I didn't really get into. I never had that time in my life where it's just like, let's do all the shit that I can do to figure out what I need to figure out. Sure, I you know, partook in, you know, just like marijuana or, you know, just something like that. But I think I found out after participating in that, oh, I'm already I don't want to say high, but yes, I'm already like open, vulnerable, questioning, stripping back the, you know, peeling the paint, you know, looking through the cosmetic culture, you know. So sometimes when I have sat with people that have these experiences, that's what their trip is. It's this sort of dissolving of all of these things that I have already kind of. So if I do participate in this this drug or whatever, I'm already gone. So I forget how to, like, there was one time I forgot how to walk, I forgot how to speak, and I go to this place. I would go to this place that I labeled the "What is it all for" door, and I know what's in there. It's nihilism. People's feet are not on the ground anymore. Everyone's floating, just detached from anything that can ground them. There's kind of like a vacant spaces in the heart and in the it's very visual to the point where if I want to like experience fear, I get high and go to the "what is it all for" door to find out what am I really afraid of right now, you know. And there's still fears that I'm dealing with, but that's my visual meditation always leads me to that "what is it all for" door. So I haven't gotten high in years, and it's never like it's never a routine. It's always a ritualistic thing. When I'm interested in fear, then that's when I do it, you know, because I know I'm going to trip. I have panic attacks already just from thinking about things, you know. So yeah. And I do have a lot of friends that are like, no, this is different. You gotta this is a different grade. You're not gonna trip. It's gonna be smooth. Take these mushrooms. It's better. I'm like, I don't think you understand the way, like, where I'm at right now. You know, I know where I'm at. I've been hired to play this role of myself, and I'm the best person for this job. So yeah, if that happens, you know, I have to really be in a space that I trust, because I know it's gonna get a little shaky.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for centering that because I feel that the same as well. People just be like, oh, there's all these experiences. I'm like, I'm the Oracle. Like, see, if I just started talking about all the things for the past 20 years that I have seen or explored just within myself, much less that which has been revealed to me, like,
yeah,
right.
And that's cool that certain people have found chemical reactions that made them see differently or opened up a new space for them to perceive, differently. That's awesome. But don't create a crusade or become dogmatic about it as though this is the only, like, I need you to see what I saw. You haven't really experienced a trip until you saw the pink elephant on your nose or some or swirly designs, of the what is it, the Fibonacci codes or something like. I'm like, it's cool. Just tell me the story, please. I mean, I can get it that way,
Yeah.
So.
Well, that also speaks to something different or deeper, not different, about, needing what you experience to be validated by another.
Yes. For sure. So, yeah.
So you were saying, we went on another tangent. But
Absolutely.
And what has brought you to this moment?
Absolutely. I was thinking about, like, just when it comes to conversations, I had a couple people come through last week, and they gave their critique and stuff, and it's like cool.
On a conversation. It's not a conference; it's a conversation.
Yes, exactly, and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. So wherever it goes, it goes. Yeah. But we did have a couple things that we wanted to try to address before you had to get out of here. We can take a little, I don't want to say stab. We can go there.
Well, so now, like, my Virgo stellium is like, what are the critiques?
Say that again.
My Virgo stellium in my chart is like, what are the critiques that folks have about?
Oh, okay. No, that they felt that our first, well, not they, but like one person pointed out that it seemed more like an interview exchange the first time, but it was like our introduction. So they were looking more for us to, like, really start talking, like, like you talk on the phone, and see where it goes. So that was that. I'm looking up a damn word because I know I said it all wrong. Yes. Okay. Okay. I know I heard it somewhere. I haven't investigated that sort of mystical road.
Topic. Well, we were like picking up basically from where we left off last week about the nerding out.
Yes. I'm definitely interested in some of the things that you're reading right now, or some of the things that you're viewing or listening to, and if you want to share, and I can share some of the things that I'm listening to, we can get into that.
Oh my gosh, I've been watching so much. I just finished, so folks who know me know that I like K-dramas, so that's been a thing.
Wait, you what?
All of in K-dramas.
Okay.
Yeah, Korean dramas. So I just finished Hotel de Luna.
Okay.
And that's on Netflix. 16 episodes. You will need tissue in that last episode because they just do not care about our feelings and just wreck us. And it's funny though, because it's like, how the ending is going to be, just because of the premise, like it's just you know the end in the beginning. So there's actually no surprises, there's no twists, there's no turns.
Okay.
But you still get wrecked because you're just like, no.
Right. And now, isn't that interesting though? That's deep in itself, because we all know how it's going to end as well, you know, but we still ride it out, you know. Mm-hmm. We still ride out the journey, get excited about the story, get excited about love. We know how it's going to end, like at least the body, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, for them to reveal the ending and still have you all stick around for the journey's pretty clever.
Yeah, it's I think one of the things with that too that sticks to that, like we already know the ending, is it's literally about death.
Okay.
So this woman, she runs this hotel called Hotel de Luna, and it's basically a place of transition from those who have recently crossed over before they actually like go to the afterlife. So they basically check into the hotel, and they work through resolving their stuff before they move on, so they can move on in peace and go to the afterlife. So most of, pretty much the story it's pretty kind of episodic in that way. Like each episode, like we get to go on a journey of like somebody who just passed and what they're going through with, you know, a partner or a daughter or whatever, and see how that gets resolved. And, you know, just a lot of life and death stuff. But the woman who owns it, she's been running that hotel for the past like 13 centuries. And she has like a deep-seated grudge that she's wanting to like basically kill someone that she fell in love with who betrayed her and her family. And so
she's thinking about all of this while she's at Hotel de Luna.
Yeah. So basically, like folks can't pass on until they resolve what they need to resolve.
Gotcha.
So she's only been there that long because she has like deep-seated grudge, and she hasn't come across yet the reincarnations of the folks to like deal with their energy. Also, the hotel has a human manager as a go-between, right? So she ends up, you know, the human manager comes, they end up developing a really great friendship and eventually a great love. But he ends up being the conduit to bringing the folks that she had these really heightened, you know, traumatic experiences with in the past life, and helps her to kind of like work through that stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, but it's just like, you know, they do end up falling in love because you can see it happening, but it's just like, oh God, this is gonna suck. Because you know what's going to happen. Like everybody has to, like, there's no escaping death. There's no like, oh, I'm gonna, no, everyone's going.
So what genre does this exist in? Is it like
it would be drama with some comedy.
What they call
there's strong love undertones. So there's a little, you know, comedy and love. So romantic drama, I would say, rather than like a straight drama. They usually do a good job of like having a good mix. Okay. So
and this is not animation, is it?
No, it's live action.
Okay, gotcha.
Now animation. Two things. One, I'm on the final season of Attack on Titan.
Okay.
And that's a Japanese animation that is also really powerful and amazing. So eventually you'll have to watch it, but after you watch it,
because I have to go to what is it? Promised Neverland? Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Hotel de Luna, you have piqued my interest. I'm very attracted to, any perspectives on death. You know, I think it's an incredible motive for living. And yeah, the one that you just said just now, what is?
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah. Okay. If you like stuff on death, Definitely check out Hotel de Luna, but you might, if you like more action and a little bit more seriousness, then you might prefer the Uncanny Counters.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a live action Korea drama, but it's the same. That's also dealing with like death in the afterlife, but that's more action oriented.
Sure.
If you like the reincarnation stuff, like Hotel de Luna, then Mystic Pop Up Bar.
Okay.
For that, it's a similar kind of context of a woman who is running a shop, and she's having to, in that case, she's actually having to like pay off her sins for killing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's interesting these days, just a little background. I went to I went to college for a little bit for photojournalism, right? So I had an interest in writing, not knowing the truth about journalism, but and still images, telling a story with imagery, and that kind of led into being a filmmaker, going to film school. And when you're put through that sort of boot camp of
films next,
when you're put through that boot camp of film and production and stuff like that, you're devouring things. And then I became that person who's not only going to school for film, but working at like Blockbuster Video and stuff like that, but really finding my sort of space in that corporation, and renaming myself like a movie tender or a film tender instead of a bartender, so people would come up to Ricardo and be like, that dude right there knows, like, go to his picks, because we were able to have our own section of movies that we put out there. Like, this is Ricardo's picks, this is Audria's picks, this is Dennis's picks, and stuff like that. So there was that section of in the movie in the Blockbuster Video, right? So this is years. I would say at least 20 years devoted to film, showing up for film, and getting really bougie about it, and creating my own snobbery about it, as far as, well, I love films, foreign films, and I love watching films with caption and stuff like that.
I mean,
you start to get a little, smell your own shit. And that did happen to me. I didn't see it. I just thought I was a cool cat because I liked interesting shit. But if I were to like go back and have a sort of It's a Wonderful Life experience, and watch the way I spoke about film back then, I would probably be like, this dude's showing off, or he's trying to, whatever. He thinks he's cool. So I mentioned that to say, nowadays, it's very hard for me to complete any film. It's very hard for me to show up and stay awake. It's very difficult for me to like my selectivity of letting the art into my space. Just like when I sent you Black Body White Noise, that piece, and you just heard a little bit of it, and you were just like, not today. Like, I don't need to. Not today. That's serious shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like that with films. I know Batman's out there. I know, I have a lot of family members that made a whole trip to go see it, and they're coming back and reporting to me like, you're gonna like this because there's the language of it. Ricardo, you like language, right? You're not all about the action stuff. This is for you. And there's just like I like it though. I like the difficulty it is now to like find my attention, for me to give you because I'm working on embodiment, I'm working on meditation, I'm working on like more productive things because seriously, more productive things that are going to like promote peace of mind.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like mental health is going to be a major issue for a lot of people coming through these traumas that were, you know, like shit is happening. People are like being tested. So I'm looking into like, what are your superhero powers, Ricardo? I like maps. We could go to the museum and look at maps. I love kites and I love telescopes. So it's maps, kites, and scopes, right? And they all represent something for me, like a sense of direction with the maps, grounded freedom with the kite, and looking outside of yourself, beyond yourself with the scopes, right? So, and I'm creating content, so and artwork. So when it comes down to finally like watching a movie, I'm trying this movie out right now called Severance, the one that I recommended to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's holding my attention a little bit, but I'm like, I hope I get it back. I hope I get more interest so I can find a balance, because right now it's reading and audiobooks and listening to like old radio programs and old sci-fi corny shit. I love the corny. Cool.
That's not corny. That's our roots.
You know what I mean?
So,
but with you sharing all of these, I am definitely creating my list right now of things to.
Well, so the list is, and this gets back to you talking about, Ricardo's picks, right?
Right.
I've seen a variety of things, so I can better recommend things based off someone's taste. So,
Gotcha.
what are some things that you have enjoyed as TV shows or movies?
Twilight Zone.
Okay.
I'm just talking about television now. Oh my, Outer Limits. Shit. What? It's like that's where it's at right now. Right? Those are the two that I can think about. Even though I've enjoyed the Jeffersons and Family Ties, Facts of Life, Alice, Laverne and Shirley, Cheers. I was in that generation of like television was the thing. I knew all of that. Not even Night Court that came on. I knew about New York Undercover and Miami Vice on Fridays and stuff like that. But yeah, in this moment, the two that stand out to me right now is Twilight Zone and Outer Limits.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Definitely Promise Neverland.
Okay.
Yeah. Gotcha. That about not so scratch everything else. Promise Neverland for sure, just because it makes you think.
Gotcha.
You have to pay attention.
Excellent. Okay.
Awesome. What about movies?
The last movie that like I said, I'm watching that Severance series. You know what's interesting? There's something about Julia Roberts movies that I just like that hold my attention, right? And I love Dirty Dancing. I loved Ghost. I love Patrick Swayze. I love revisiting all of the stuff that I missed. I missed the indoctrination. I missed, what they were sliding, talking about during that time. I'm very interested in the archives when it comes to film. I love when it comes to film, it's like Network, My Dinner with Andre, The Americanization of Emily. It's Andre Tarkovsky's whole catalog. I love like just TMC and Criterion Collection films. You know, that bougie person still stays is right there. Not bougie, but has a certain taste for film. And I love Shakespeare.
International.
International.
It's like I don't know how somebody
could
do something other than American for an extended period of time and not be like, I like everything but American media.
Right.
Have you seen The Assassin?
The Assassin? No. What?
That's
I'm gonna say what year? What a year are we talking about?
Let me check. It's been a minute. It's a Chinese director.
Okay, The Assassin.
It is a wuxia film, so it's a quote unquote martial arts film, but it's so not a martial arts film. Especially because you are a music person.
Yes.
Most of the sound is natural.
Yes.
It's not filled. It's very like the cinematography is gorgeous. Like it's I think you'll really
okay.
It
looks beautiful. Okay.
Assassin. 2015.
Gotcha. Yep.
A beautiful play on color, fabrics, light and shadow. Which I love. I love and that's one of the reasons why I love watching Asian film and TV when it's production quality, because like what they do with lighting is just like, oh my god. It's so
right. Check out this film called The Trial. And Orson Welles directed it. But when it comes to cinematography, oh my god, like I've never seen lines like this in a film. It's and the shadows or the chiaroscuro, whatever we're going to call it, the contrast, it's perfection, visual perfect. And through my eyes, I'm like, wow, every frame is just, it can stand by itself. Stand by itself. It's called The Trial, and it's an adaptation of I think a Kafka book, The Trial.
Yeah, you'll like The Assassin for that reason. If you like composition of shots.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, like you'll love it.
Give me a screensaver any day. I could just be like, oh,
yes.
I mean, I used to dig things like Run Lola Run and Memento and Pi, and all of those movies were like just images, you know, and I really appreciated it, but I have to really be in the mood for it nowadays, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I like it. I just want to, you know, go fishing or row in a boat, you know, paddle the boat and just kind of like listen to the waves and, you know, just kind of move through space in a certain way these days. And, so that's what's happening.
It's the water.
It's the water.
Yeah, it's
the water. Yes. Coming back
and expand.
Absolutely.
And expansion.
What about music? Do you listen to music these days, or?
Yeah, mix of pop, pop, hip hop, K-pop as well, because I've been on the K-drama thing. Yeah.
Have you been to Korea?
No.
Are you interested, or?
Not really. It's a pretty conservative place.
That's what I heard.
I don't know that it'd really be, from what I see, I don't know that it'd really be that welcoming, to be honest.
Okay.
Oh,
how about this?
But I would go to Africa before I go
to Korea. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to disrespect my mother like that.
What's your take on the sort of superhero fascination that our culture has? Like, are you in it as well? Are you a big fan of Marvel?
Like I've been a Blerd, so it's just like it feels like everyone else has finally caught up, but this world has already been here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's just now it has a budget to be shown.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think it says something deeper about like our society, that these films are attracting, you know, a lot of people, making a lot of money, you know?
It's only here in the Western world, because what it does is it gives an excuse or an acceptable place to talk about deeper issues that don't get talked about in regular American media, which already get talked about in other cultures.
Yes.
But the fantastical, the science fiction, like all that, again, has already existed, and those things already get explored in other places, but that hasn't been explored as much in this culture.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of those themes about, you know, community and oppression, like all that stuff, it gets worked out in the superhero context.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But just because like it hasn't been explored in other places, and it's more palatable for this market. It's not as confrontational.
Right.
Because if we're really gonna talk about, like, you know, the X-Men, we have to talk about race.
Yes, right. For sure.
So, but like OGs know, like if I mean, not that I was like in the comics, but like even if you watch the old cartoon, like highly political show, like I'm still floored the fact that was even being aired.
Yeah.
Watch, because I'm just like, this is mature. Gargoyles, this is mature.
Yeah.
Like I knew back then, I was like, oh, but again, it's kids stuff, it's cartoons, it's not shown in like live action. So that the wokeness of the culture now through social media has been a blessing. But again, with the American culture, it has to be in like the superhero context, because like, you know, we're not going to have a live action drama that's actually going to unpack this in our culture just yet.
Right. I was very impressed with the writers for what was it called? Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I haven't seen that yet.
Okay. So with the whole Captain America thing and the history of Captain America, I mean, to name a superhero after a nation, you have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And they really started thinking about, you know, well, they really did their research on the books. So these things, like you said, were already there, already thought about. So it is good to see some scholarship with the comic characters, and that there is some gravity, a lot of gravity, to what these characters struggle with. You know, that we can identify. They're like, it's like Greek mythology, you know, in a way.
Yeah, like in all the ways, because it's their stories. But that's also what I liked with all the things that I had issues with the Expanse. Overall, I did really appreciate the writing. I haven't read the books, but I did appreciate the exploration of some things, and even though it was straddling a bit on binary, it was still trying to work with the thirds, and it's been a while since I've really been able to see that, honestly, in American media.
Yeah, right.
Like dealing with 3 power players rather than 2, powerless, right? It still had like a bit of that in there.
Yeah.
It was interesting to me. The writing in that, and I would say especially season 1, if you like good 2-person character scenes.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good writing for the older characters in that first season, which I really appreciated.
Which one are we talking about now?
The Expanse.
Okay. The Expanse. Awesome.
Yeah. It's probably not going to be something that you would like, and it's
what's interesting. What's interesting is I like it all. I do like it all, but but I'm very selective now with, what I consume. But I will definitely venture in and watch everything, just to experience it,
Yeah. Well, when I say I mean watch it to completion.
Okay.
Right.
That might not happen.
I don't know that you would like it enough to finish.
Okay, got you.
But at least the writing, again, with the characters is interesting that first season.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, I do actually need to run, but this is lovely.
Yes, good seeing you again, and thank you for inviting me to your Tuesday morning. Yeah. And I'll see you next week.
Mm-hmm. Any ideas of what you want to talk about next week?
Well, I got some interesting things coming up this month. With spring, I would love to talk about the seasons, the relationships with seasons. Also, I'm going away on this retreat for a few days, so I will be up in the mountains and just try to prepare my mind for that kind of experience. So, yeah, my words are going to be softer because I'm going to be quieting down, you know what I'm saying, to prepare for that sort of.
It will be a self-directed retreat, or you're going to be participating in a container?
I'm participating in a sort of group thing. Yeah, so it's about 15 people. We're all coming together as a sort of artistic think tank to work on this new program that's being developed and stuff like that. So,
ooh, yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's really exciting because that's one of future goals that I have, is to eventually own a large home, a mansion, in fact, where basically half of it is used as retreat space.
Yes.
And to host artists, creatives, leaders, etc. In the space periodically to come there to think.
Yes.
And to write and to quiet. Yeah.
So we could talk about that, my preparation for that, and always I love doing a recap of our week, any highlights and things like that, just to catch up.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool.
Well, you have a purposeful day. I know you're going to rock it, and I'll see you.
Yeah, you too. Enjoy your fatherhood.
Indeed.
They quieted down now. It's a little too quiet. You might want to go check.
I know. I'm worried. Okay.
It's real quiet over there. I'm like, ooh.
For sure. All right, I'll check you out.
Okay. Bye.
Peace.
Bye, everybody.